Hello, my beautiful people. I am Professor Olubukola Adenubi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about a disease that's been around for centuries, tuberculosis or TB. But not just any TB. We're diving into a form of TB you might not hear about often, zoonotic tuberculosis, which is TB that spreads from animals to humans. Most of us think of TB as something people pass to each other through coughing or sneezing. That's true for the common type caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis, but there's another form caused by a cousin of this bacterium called Mycobacterium bovis, which primarily affects animals, especially cattle, but can also infect humans. So how does this happen? Zoonotic TB mainly spreads through unpasteurized dairy products like raw milk. In many parts of the world, especially in rural and pastoral communities in Africa, people consume fresh milk from their own cows, goats, or even sheep without boiling it first. It's a tradition, a part of culture, and for some, a necessity. But unfortunately, if that animal is infected with TB, the milk can carry the bacteria and infect humans who drink it. It's not just milk though. People who work closely with animals, such as farmers, veterinarians, abattoir workers, and even people who handle meat in markets are also at risk. The bacteria can be spread by breathing in dust or droplets from infected animals or through cuts and wounds when handling carcasses or raw meat. In some rare cases, even wild animals like buffalo, antelope, or warthogs can carry TB, especially if they share water or grazing areas with infected livestock. And once TB enters a wildlife population, it becomes even harder to control. Now let's talk about how zoonotic TB affects people. The symptoms are very similar to regular TB: a persistent cough lasting more than 2 weeks, fever, night sweats, weight loss, weakness, and sometimes pain in the chest or abdomen. That's what makes it tricky. Most diagnostic tests can't tell whether the TB is from M. tuberculosis or M. bovis. Doctors may treat it like ordinary TB, but the problem is that M. bovis is naturally resistant to one of the main TB drugs called pyrazinamide. This means treatment can be less effective unless doctors know exactly what they're dealing with. So why is zoonotic TB more common in some regions than others? In developed countries, milk is pasteurized before it's sold. Animals are tested regularly for TB, and there are strict regulations for meat processing. But in many low and middle income countries, these systems aren't always in place or enforced. Add to that close human animal contact, limited veterinary services, and lack of awareness, and you have a recipe for continued spread. To tackle zoonotic TB, we need a multi-layered approach. First, public awareness is key. People need to know that drinking raw milk, especially from animals that haven't been tested, carries a risk. Boiling milk before drinking it is a simple but powerful step. Second, we need better animal health systems. That means regular testing of livestock, especially dairy cows, and removing or treating infected animals where possible. Veterinarians and farmers need support and training to identify signs of TB and take preventive action. Third, we need stronger collaboration between doctors, veterinarians, environmental experts, and local communities. This approach is known as One Health, and it recognizes that the health of people, animals, and our shared environment are all connected. When these sectors work together, we can identify and stop outbreaks more effectively. Governments also have a role to play. They can set up programs to compensate farmers who lose animals due to TB, so they're not afraid to report it. They can invest in diagnostic tools that can tell different types of TB apart, and they can support public health campaigns to encourage safe food handling, Zoonotic TB is a public health challenge, but it's one we can manage with the right knowledge and action. It affects not just individuals, but families and communities, especially those who rely on animals for their livelihood. So what can you do? Boil your milk, cook your meat properly. If you work with animals, wear protective gear and take care of any cuts or wounds. And most importantly, share what you've learned today. The more people understand this disease, the better we can prevent it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Stay safe and see you in the next one.